Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Language Talks. We are in conversation today with Mr. Nikhil Paranjape. He is joining us from Pune. He is a software developer by profession and a Persian teacher by passion. He completed MA Persian and also an Advanced Diploma in Persian from the Mumbai University. He designed and conducted courses in Persian, and he has been teaching Persian for 10 years now. He has translated various Persian documents from the 17th and 18th century. He also worked as a Persian into English interpreter in an important corporate meeting. Various articles about the Persian language written by him have been published in the leading newspapers. Let's learn more from him about his passion for this language. Welcome to the show, Mr. Nikhil.
Thank you, Lalita ma'am, for giving me this opportunity, and a very good morning to you.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you here.
We say in Persian, it's salam, so bakhair, is hello, good morning.
Oh, okay. Nice to hear the language. So, I would like to start by asking you about your interest in the Persian language. So, how did it all begin?
Uh, Long story short, a few years ago, I was interested in trekking, hiking the hill forts around Pune. And in my school days, I was least interested in history. But in 11th standard, the first foreign language I learned was German. And I had also an interest in learning Japanese, though I didn't ever manage to learn Japanese. But in year 2009, in September 2009, a popular non-academic historian, he was from Pune, Mr. Ninad Bedekar. So he had organized a series of treks to celebrate his 61st birthday. So he had planned to take young people around to those forts, 61 forts he had planned. So I happened to visit Fort Sinhagad near Pune with him, and during our visit, he narrated the history of Sinhagad Fort proper, the Mughal Maratha history of the 16th and 17th century, and I started developing interest in it, and did some more treks with him in the further months. And I remember the triggering point was in one of the famous battles of the Maratha history. He said that it's probably it happened at a different location, not the popular location. And that really triggered my interest in history. And I asked him various questions. And then I came to know what are the sources of history, how a historian comes to know about these events, the scripts and languages that one needs to study, what are the original documents. It all began that way. And as destiny would have it, coincidentally, there is a very nice institute near my home, Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal, which was established in 1910 by Mr.
Right.
V.K. Rajwade, which has done
Okay.
an enormous research in Maratha history. So there was an exhibition to celebrate the centenary year. So I visited that place, which I had never visited earlier, even though it was very near to my place, because I was not interested in history at all. So I saw various documents of different kings and sultanates, Mughal farmans, original letters of Chhatrapati Shivaji, Chhatrapati Sambhaji, Chhatrapati Rajaram, Shahaji Maharaj Bhosle. And I was so fascinated, interested, and started learning Modi script. The Modi script was a script, a
I
cursive
see.
script was used
Mhm.
to write official letters in Marathi. So I picked it up, I learned it, I loved it. After, I was very confident that I can read Modi well. I'd read a lot of documents. Cut to the visit I had in the BISM museum. BISM is Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal. There are on the display Mughal farmans, the farman of Shah Jahan, farman of Aurangzeb, which has a line written by Aurangzeb himself. There are seals, stamps, sugras, and I was so, fascinated, interested, and I had in my mind that it would be great if I will be able to read it, so that I can read the authentic history and the script used. I didn't know the name of the script. It was very beautiful hand that I had written. It caught my eye, which I later came to know it's called as the nostalgic script, and amazing calligraphy it had. So after having read a lot of Modi documents over a year, I started learning Persian. So that's how I got connected to Persian. And on
Mhm.
weekends or even in weekdays when I came back home from my office, if I had time, I visited that place. Initially, I started learning it myself. Then there was one of my first teachers of Persian, Mr. Mahesh Tendulkar, who is very famous in Pune for his books on forts. So he's also interested in forts. So there was a
Okay.
group of 3 to 4 people, and he started teaching us. So I started learning Persian formally. Then, coincidentally, Mr. Arvind Athole from Pune, who joined us, he is an expert in numismatics. He also has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Pune Numismatic Society. So he introduced me to coins. In my school days, college days, I had never, really had any interest in numismatics or collection of coins. Luckily, I saw very rare coins, beautiful coins with him, and it so happened that I was able to read, which we popularly referred to as a historical Persian or the Persian written in Nastaliq or the Shikaste Nastaliq script. That was easier for me rather than learning the printed script, which is easier. I mean, it's for others, it's the other way around. For me, the difficult one was the easier. So that's how it all started. Since I had learned Spanish and German earlier, Persian, I took more interest as a language rather than just reading the historical sources. It's a very beautiful language. It's very nice. It sounds very nice when you hear that language, as we say, like in India, Bangla is very sweet. Similarly, Persian is very
Mhm.
sweet. In fact, in Persian, they say Farsi Shirin as. Persian is very sweet. So I
Oh,
also picked it up as a learn more. I thought that I should learn more. Um, then there was another senior teacher, Mr. Rajendra Joshi from Pune, who has been studying and teaching Persian for quite some time. I have also learned from him. So he said that you can visit Imambare in Pune, the Imambara, and check if there is any Irani teacher. Because at that time, so this is a year like around 2011 and 2010, 11. And I went there, and the people there were so surprised that a non-Iranian or a non-Shiite, someone has come here and is interested to learn Persian. And at that time, there was a class for Iranian kids who are like Iranian, or as I refer to them as the Indo-Iranian, because they are born and brought up either in Mumbai or Pune or some other place. So their native language, mother tongue is Persian, but those kids, they don't know how to write and read the formal training, as we say. So it was a class for them. Started attending those classes with those kids. And let me just narrate a short incident of it. My students
sure.
and so that
Mm.
was the month of Muharram. And at that time, I was not very aware of the Shiite culture, the Battle of Karbala, Imam Hussein's martyrdom, the Nohe Khani, or that. So on the speaker, some song started. So there was a little Irani girl whom I asked, "Is it your prayer time?" So she was shocked and she looked at me and said in Persian, so roughly to translate to, "Uncle, are you not a Muslim?" I said, "No, I'm not a Muslim," in Persian. So she ran to our teacher and she said, "Khanum, Khanum, like, madam, madam, this uncle is not Muslim." So I remember the teacher said that has nothing to do with religion. See how uncle learns Persian, he writes, you all kids just, play around and keep on shouting. You must also study. So the girl went back to their group and
Wow.
discussion among themselves and they all gathered around me. Oh, how are you interested? What's your name? So it was so fun to learn
Mhm.
those kids, and the teacher was so good.
Right.
Well, they're very interested. Then I came to know that there is an Iran Culture House in Mumbai, and Mumbai University has a department of Persian. So I approached them, and I have done my diploma from Mumbai University, Advanced Diploma, and MA MA in Persian from Mumbai University.
So taking a deep dive in the language. I mean, it's a big deal, isn't it?
Yes. So otherwise,
Mhm.
I have no connection with history or Persian, but now I have developed a lot of interest, and for over 10 years, I've been learning and teaching Persian.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah. It is. It was nice to know how you started and how you really, went far and with all the
Yes.
institutions and people supporting you in learning this language and taking it that
Yes.
far. Mhm.
So yeah,
I would
well,
like to.
there was an
Huh.
exhibition for the
Mhm.
International Book Fair, and there was a stall for Persian books by Iran Culture House Mumbai, and there was Mr. Sadek Bakfalki was there. So
Mhm.
I took around my students to the stall to look at the books. So I started a conversation with him, and we became good friends. So on weekend I used to. He was doing his PhD at Deccan College, linguistics department. So Deccan College is a deemed
Okay.
university, a very famous place in Pune
Oh,
for
mhm.
archaeology and linguistics. So he was doing his PhD.
Okay.
So I developed a friendship with him. I used to visit him every Saturday or Sunday whenever I got time. So I also asked
Mhm.
him, can you teach us further as a formal class? But he said
Mhm.
he has no vehicle. Could you all please come to Deccan College? So one of my no, friends were senior citizens. So initially we had a discussion whether or not. So we finally decided to that we'll all go to Deccan College and learn from him. So the idea came to my mind. So if we are all the way coming to Deccan College, why don't we start a formal course? So I said, this is he was like, okay, my language is, he's Kurdish actually. So he speaks Persian. He said, I've never taught to any non-Iranian which will be the book that will be referred to, how will the course. So we both sat and designed a basic course and
Oh, okay.
approached the linguistics department, the head of department, Mr. Shailendra Mohan, if I remember his name correctly at that time. He was the HOD. So we gave a synopsis and a proposal. Why don't we start a Persian course? So he was very happy, but kind of, there has been very long ago, there was a BA course, I think, in Pune University. But since the students have declined over a period of time, formal education had been stopped because of lack of students. So he said, oh, will it sustain? Will there be students? Okay, I said, let's start it off. The first batch was me and my students and my friends. So the book that I had learned for diploma, again, we learned with Sadek, and he, brought in a lot of cultural aspects and also that's how the course at the Deccan College started. And again, Iran, after a couple of batches, Iran Culture House came into picture, and they had a collaboration. So now I teach Persian at Deccan College, Pune University, the Savitribai Phule Pune University Department of History, and also
Okay.
selected courses of Iran Culture House.
I see. Oh, that's great. Yeah, like it is said that the Marathi language has many words from the Persian language. So, can you tell us more about it?
Sure. It's a very interesting topic of the influence of Persian on Marathi, and people have explored it a lot. Those who have learned Persian, people like Mr. Y.M. Pathan, Dr. Y.M. Pathan. Then, I think in 1925, book was published, Farsi Marathi course by Madhav Patwardhan. So there has been a lot of work on it, and since Persian was the language of the court, the official language of India for almost around 1,000 years, the Sultanate period, the Muslim period that we had. As we say today, like we started our conversation in English. Why? Because it's the language of business today, and we have a lot of outreach. The way we Indians use English, or the world uses English, it was Persian in the medieval period. So the documents, the official documents, the historical chronicles, be it coins, stone inscriptions, everything was in Persian. As far as Maharashtra is considered, the popular one is the attack of Alauddin Khalji on Devgiri. It started the political Muslim rule in India. The presence of Arabs and Persians was there for quite some time, from 19th century in Deccan and Konkan. So we have inscriptions to prove that. The political uh, the influence started from Alauddin Khalji. Then Muhammad Tughlaq shifted his capital to Devgiri. It's very popular, well known. Then the Bahmani Sultanate started, and the official court language was Persian. So the Kayasthas and the Brahmins, they took up jobs of being the scribes of this court to write Persian. So there are many words in Marathi which are Persian. One of the word that I would like to mention that really caught my attention a few years ago was the word Daneshvar in Persian. So Danesh means like knowledge, and Daneshvar, or in India it would be pronounced as Danishwar, is like a scholar man or a wise man, which is very close to Jnaneshwar, the Saint Jnaneshwar. And the period, if you see, of Jnaneshwar is earlier or just about that time when Alauddin Khalji came. So at that time, the Persian influence was not there. So there are some words like even the scholars' work, if you add a ye to it, is called as Daneshvari, which is very close to Jnaneshwari. So I mean, I still have a question like how these are connected, because Sanskrit and Persian are called as the sister languages. So the old Persian or Avestan language, it has a lot of similarities with Sanskrit. So Iran and India culturally, linguistically, politically, historically have a deep, deep connections for more over than 1,000 years. So that deep it goes. And
Mm.
even I would say that certain words which I would come across in chronicles, the court chronicles or the official tawarikhs, and the documents which are like farmans or sanads. But beyond that, many, many words which are in Marathi, which are of Persian origin. Why did they come so? So the intermingling of the Persian people and Marathi, let's say the common place is the bazaar, the market. So you have that, cultural influence of each other, and that's how it has been in Marathi or in any other Indian language. You will come across n number of Persian words. So it's very interesting.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is very interesting, and there are so many threads and so many links to it, to the language.
Absolutely.
How do you perceive the historical and cultural connections between Persian and Indian languages?
Apart from language, I mean, just of
Hmm.
words, what I would like to mention is, let's say, as far as Maharashtra or Marathi is considered, it's not just
Hmm.
language, it's even of culture, cuisine,
Hmm.
architecture, sometimes clothing. So it has, affected us a lot. So any language, when it intermingles, of course, there has to be some friction within the language. So one is overlap. So that it is there, no doubt about it. But we
Okay.
have also absorbed their culture. So even in the 18th century, which is popularly called as the Maratha century or the Maratha period, the temples or the vadas, as we say, the forts, if you go around, you will see a lot of Persian architectural elements into it. The tags, the niches, the pishtaks, the evans. So this is an amalgamation, a fusion of local Maratha traditions and the Persianate traditions.
Okay. In your experience, how does learning Persian provide insights into India's medieval history and its traditions?
So if you really want to explore any part of history, any section, so be it art and architecture, paintings, weapons, the political history, without Persian, you cannot actually proceed on yourself. So it's the backbone. It's very essential to know Persian because, like, uh, you can come across n number of words, inscriptions, which you have, once you are able to read it, you do not rely on secondary sources, or you have to rely on the translator. You can yourself
Right.
go and verify exactly what is written. Say, for example, in case of poetry, there is a English translation famous of Omar Khayyam's poetry or Maulana Rumi's poetry. The English translation, and if you compare the original manuscript, the original translation, by original, I mean whatever Persian is available, because it might not be from his own contemporary period or whatever. So if you compare
Correct.
Persian poem and the English translation, sometimes it's way away. It's like, as we say, gone for a toss. It's completely different. So reading the origin, literally gives you the true essence of it.
That is the beauty of knowing a language. Right.
Right. And as I say, in case
Yes.
of Persian, which has
Mhm.
maintained its like influence more than 1,000 years in the world, so I perceive Persian as a bridge between the East or India and the West, the European world,
Mm.
literal
Okay.
world, because like the Panchatantra, say for example, was translated into Persian, and the rest of the world, the Europeans, came to know about Panchatantra and other Indian traditions through Persian. So when the Persian translations reached Central Asia and Europe, those people came to know about what was going on in India.
Okay.
And I see, look
Right.
at it as a key. You have a Persian as a key of a gate of a beautiful garden. So once you get into that garden, when we go in a garden, we see somewhere there are roses, somewhere there are tulips, somewhere there is a waterfall. So once you are able to understand the basic language, like you have done your diploma or advanced diploma, based on your own interest, whether you want to read history, whether you want to read the Mughal history or the Deccan history or the Maratha history or the Iranian history, or you are interested more into music and poetry, you can explore that. Or you go deeper, you realize that, oh, you have just begun.
Yeah, that's right. You mentioned about the Persian script that it is very artistic. isn't it?
Yes.
So please tell us more about the script.
About the script, it is called as the Perso-Arabic script because what we
Mhm.
learn today, the script is Arabic after the Muslim Arab invasion of Persia. So earlier,
Okay.
there was script used as the Pahlavi
Mhm.
language and the script. Earlier, it was cuneiform script as we had Brahmi script equivalent in India. So when we talk about ancient
Okay.
Iran and ancient languages and scripts, there are different scripts and languages. When we start learning, which is called as the modern Persian, it's the Arabic script initially added with four alphabets, the sounds which are not in Arabic. Say, for example, the sound of ch, j, p are not there in Arabic. So those were added and the script and language was
Okay.
formulated. And since the Persians are very famous for their intellectual capabilities, they and poetic mind, so they developed few scripts called as the Nastaliq script. The broken version of that is called as the Shekastan Nastaliq, which was used for writing letters as a cursive script. The original Arabic script was the Kufic script, the oldest script, one of the their form of Kufic. So there are different scripts that have been used, which you come across documents or stone inscriptions, and sometimes it's very beautiful, but at times very difficult to decipher because of the strokes and the noktes, as we say, which are the dots or the points. The dots are missing, or sometimes they are together collected. So you need to really figure out what that word, single word, can have multiple readings and multiple meanings. So it takes a lot of time and effort to decipher a historical document and translate it
Okay.
as it would be relevant in today's context.
Okay. Okay.
It's challenging and
Hmm.
also very interesting.
Right. Yes. So you have conducted Persian courses across various institutions. So
Yes.
can you tell us the experience? How is the experience of teaching diverse groups?
Yeah, yeah. So how I took up to interesting, there was an heritage festival. So in that, I had done a presentation on Persian sources of medieval history of India, and I had, I took around participants, arranged a visit to the Museum of Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal, and one of the ladies, she said, "Yeah, where you learn Persian?" So I just briefly told her. So she said, I have never heard that there is a class of Persian or an institute who teaches Persian because at that time there were no formal classes. So would you teach us? I said I had never thought of it, but let me give it a try. And that's how I started teaching for Persian in a private language institute, Samwar Language Institute in Pune, run by Mrs. Archana Gokte in 2015. So when the course was announced, people were very surprised. Oh, Persian is being taught, and all the people who were interested in Urdu and poetry, calligraphy had a diverse group of students from all walks of life. First, by even a Marathi actor was there. Uh, so the second, I conducted two batches over there, and after that, I took diploma and advanced diploma. So looking at now, my interest was the head of department of Mumbai University Persian department, Dr. Sakina Khan. She asked me whether I would be interested in teaching Persian in Mumbai University. So after completing my advanced diploma, I conducted the course of diploma in Persian language in Mumbai University. And fortunately, in my case, my students, there was a group of women, girls and women, who were from the families of the people who are from the who have owned the Irani restaurants of Mumbai.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yes. So
Okay.
those ladies were my students whose native language was Persian, but they said, "Ki sir, whatever grammar that you teach, we even don't know because we use our own way of." So they were very happy, and it's all started. And in case of Iran Culture House, when I first approached them, I said that I teach Persian. So they said, "Who's the teacher?" I said, "I'm the teacher," and they were so shocked, surprised because they had never seen a non-Irani person teaching Persian or is interested in Persian. So while doing my diploma, I said I would like to, appear for exam, or my students would like to appear for your exam, basically. So would it be possible? So Mr. Zakir, he's still there with the Iran Culture of Mumbai. He said that we have this is the first case. So let me talk to my director, and we'll get back to you. So after a couple of months, they sent me an email that okay, we are okay, and very happy that you can come and appear for our exam. So we went there with my friends. No, we all were there, And the students who had formally attended their batch, they were very surprised that a group of people have came from Pune, and they are all non-Shiites or non-Muslims or non-Iranians. And no, they were very surprised. So we had that exam experience, and that was a very nice experience. So after that, I approached the HOD of Department of History. At that time, Dr. Session ma'am was there. So why don't we conduct a course here at the Department of History for those who are interested in history? So that course, we got an approval and all, and I've been teaching to students at the Pune University. So, I have experience teaching offline as well as online. So I
Oh,
have students who are Indians, but those who reside in UK or USA, Indonesia. So I've had quite a diverse group of people I've
right.
taught to, and I'm teaching them.
Okay. So, do you also integrate literature and modern usage of the language
Yes,
while you're
absolutely,
teaching them?
absolutely. Though I
Okay.
would say above 85 or 90% people are interested in Persian to study history. But while
Mhm.
I teach them, I also like quote Persian poems, Mirza Ghalib's Urdu poems. I introduce them to the literature. So, as in case of let's say professional courses like medical or engineering, the first year is common. So so I emphasis on like my students should be able to read, write, and speak Persian. And I introduce them
Okay.
to various aspects of the language, like
Okay.
literature, poetry, the medieval period literature, the modern literature, uh, coins, or movies, cinemas. The Iranian cinema is very famous. So I give examples of that. I introduce them to
Mhm.
that so that it's a student's decision later whether he or she would like to focus more on history or poetry. But the basics, the script, the grammar, he should be well
Mhm.
versed with it. And in case of Persian, the grammar is very easy as compared to is very structured and very easy as compared to any other languages. Let's say for
I
classical
see.
languages like Arabic
Mhm.
or Sanskrit, Prakrit, or modern languages like French or German and other languages. It's very easy. So, and I make it even easier, simpler, and interesting for my students.
I'm sure. Yes. In today's globalized world, what is the importance of learning a language like Persian, which has deep historical roots, but it is less commonly taught? Although
Uh,
you have explained a lot of things connecting to that, but would like to
yes,
know more.
last year, our foreign minister, Mr. Jaishankar, was on his Iran's visit, and then there he declared that Persian or Farsi would be considered as the classical language of India. So it will be the ninth classical language of India. So it's culturally and historically very enriching experience to learn Persian. As far as a modern spoken or a language of business, there are opportunities in Persian language, commercial or opportunity, but very less as compared to, let's say you compare it with German or Spanish or Chinese, Korean. The commercial opportunities are very less, and
Okay.
unfortunately, the economy of Iran is not in a good
Mhm.
state because of the sanctions of USA, the political situation over there. So it's not that good as compared to other European and other languages. But there are certainly opportunities if one can get it and can wants to explore more. So even
Okay.
students go to Iran for their medical studies or any higher studies. So Iran
Mhm.
welcomes and Iranian people, be it common people or professors, they love India and Indian people so much. I mean, I have a lot of friends in Iran, so we have a lot of interactions. I send them pictures of like any festivals or celebrations that we have in India, and they always ask me, "Oh, what does this mean? It's so great, so beautiful." So I get to learn about them, and I tell about our own traditions and customs to them. So it's a very nice interaction that I have with them.
Oh, that is so nice to talk about cultures, different cultures. That's very nice. Coming to the end of the interview, may I request you to recite a poem from this language for us?
Okay, it's full of poetry. So if I've been asked to pick up anyone, the one of the famous, and that is more relevant in today's world, is the poem Bani Adam by Sadi, and it's also inscribed in the United States. So Bani Adam, in this poem, Sadi says that we are all the children of Adam. In the Abrahamic structure, the Adam is said to be the first man, like Adam and Eve. So
Okay.
Adam is Adam. So the all humans have been are descendants of Adam. So he says, I'll recite the poem. I'll just give you the background of it. So he says that all humans, our limbs are like we are all brothers and sisters. And if one of my, it's one body, the human race is one body, and different limbs are different types of people. And if one limb is having pain, the entire body has pain. So if you don't feel the pain, you are not worthy of being a human. So the poem goes like Bani Audam as o yek digaran ke ofri nashche yek goharan چوب درد آورد روزگار دیگر عذرها را نماند قرار تو کز محنت دیگران بیغمی نشاید که نامت نهند آدمی. So it's a beautiful poem, and
Wow.
it's our Hindu culture that we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That now these days,
Mhm.
for a couple of years, we have seen that there are wars and violences and atrocities, people hating each other community. Lot of bloodshed has been there for last couple of years. Even India has got into a war with Pakistan and a lot of terrorist activities. So if we've like learned this poem and this thought that we are all at the end of the day brothers and sisters, we all have the same essence, the same humanity in us. That will really help us to go away from all this hatred and violence,
Mhm.
and live peacefully as humans.
Absolutely, yes. And thank you so much for reciting it. It is very rhythmic,
Yeah, the
the
Persian
language.
meters, and it's been the duff, or the, as in
Mhm.
India we say the thapa vadya, which you beat around. The meters
Mhm.
are so organized that you can really pick up the rhythm, and it sounds
Mhm.
very sweet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So as far as history and Persian sources go, the popular is like the battles of the emperors and kings, and how
Mhm.
they won, maybe even the atrocities they committed, and all the behavior, the bigotry. So good, the bad, and ugly, everything is there. But a common man, a layman, might not knowing, or would be surprised to know that there are certain poems, the ghazals, which are attributed or could be written by the emperor himself. The Mughal emperors, the princess, the prince, the queens, they were known as accomplished Persian poets like Jahangir or Shah Jahan and Dara Shikoh. They have their poems, or the poems which are attributed to them. And Zebun Nisa, the Mughal princess, so she is very famous with her pen name Makhfi, which means like the concealed, and she has published her Diwan. So Diwan is a collection of poems which has a set of rules. So you need to have
Okay.
uh,
Mhm.
poems starting with particular alphabets, and a set of ghazals. So her Diwan is very famous. So it is also very interesting to know that all these nobles and kings and emperors, they were accomplished Persian poets.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we only hear about wars and talk about that,
Right.
but this aspect is not known to us.
Right, and there was a famous Brahmin called as a Chandraban
Mhm.
Brahmin in Darashuko's period, who was well versed and accomplished Persian poet and a laureate. So his poems, or even Hazrat Bedil, the Bedil Dehlavi's poems, Amir Khusro's Persian poems, they are even very famous in Iran as well. So this cultural literature connect between India and Iran is
Mhm.
very interesting
Yes,
and very deep.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Right.
the Persian laureates and poets, famous like Said Tabrizi or Urfi Shirazi, they
Mhm.
wanted to come to India, and they came to India rather than staying in Iran in the Safavid decline period. In the north,
Mhm.
the Akbar's court, Akbar had invited a lot of Persian poets, even in Deccan scholars like Mahmud Gavan and other spiritual Sufi saints. They have been here in Deccan and for quite some time. So it's a very interesting connection. Whether you see a coin like a lari in Deccan,
Mhm.
which is an interesting kind of coin, which is a strip actually, a
Mhm.
bimetric strip, which is there in Iran as well.
Oh, okay. Is it?
And in Pune, there is a famous temple, Trishunda Ganpati. So it has
Mhm.
three inscriptions, two in Sanskrit and one in Persian. So Ganesha temple having Persian inscription is what surprises to a layman that how could it be?
Yes. Right.
So it was
This is
the
amazing.
Franca
Hmm.
of that time, and
Hmm.
everyone. So there is a, as we say, a phrase, "के हाथ कंगन
Hmm.
को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या." So at
Oh,
in that period,
yes.
so if a man is a person is learned, so definitely he would be knowing Persian, even if his specialization is, let's say, is in Sanskrit or any other grammar language. Farsi was well spoken, so everyone knew Persian. But slowly there was a decline after the mid 18th century, and Persian like kind of lost its grandeur, which it earlier enjoyed.
Okay. And you're so lucky that you know the language and you can read all these inscriptions and documents and whatnot. That's great.
Yes.
Great. That was a lovely discussion and I enjoyed every bit of it. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for joining.
Thanks you, ma'am, for connecting with me, and it was a very nice discussion with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me in conversation with Mr. Nikhil. See you in the next episode with a new language professional who will share his or her journey of languages. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.
جارا و جارا دل ما را گاهی به چراغ نگاهی روشن کن. ببینید این دل هست، این حرف دله. چراغ نگاهی دل ما را به چراغ نگاهی روشن کن.